Hello, hello, and welcome to today's episode of Saddest Night Out. My name is Roy, and I am the host of this daily podcast, and it's primarily about music and creative culture in London. Today's guest is one Tyler Gilbert. Tyler Gilbert works with Studio Lambert, which is a television production company, and we met each other in what has been the most unconventional way I've met anyone for this podcast, which is that I was coming home on the train from working at the rehearsal studio, and on came this gentleman who had one of those AAA pass stickers on his shirt that said the Vamps. And earlier that day, Romeo, friend of the podcast, mentioned that the Vamps were playing at the O2. So I noticed Tyler gets on the train, and it took I think there may be 4 or 5 stops from when he got on to when I was supposed to get off. And the whole time I'm thinking, I should approach him, but no, it'd be weird, but it could be really interesting. And then right before my stop, I finally decided to just tap on the leg and say, hey, were you at the O2? And we got to talking, and I ended up missing my stop and going to the next one because the conversation was that good. And he was kind enough to agree to meet with me again later on in the week. And this is that meeting. So we talked a bit about how he came to be where he is and his goals for the future as well. So this is me welcoming newcomer Tyler Gilbert to the podcast. Enjoy this chat, and I'll catch up with you afterwards. I press record. We are live in, what's the name of this place again?
Fernandez and Wells.
Fernandez and Wells. I'm on Denmark Street, the famous Denmark Street, and I'm here with a new member of the Saddest Night Out family. What's your name?
Tyler Gilbert.
Tyler, can you tell our listeners how we met?
Okay, so basically I had just finished working at the Vamp show at the O2 Arena. I was on the train home and you approached me asking me questions, so I was more than happy to accommodate and answer any questions you had.
I'm really sorry if I creeped you out.
No, it's fine, do not worry.
It was lovely to meet you. So how did you come to end up working at the Vamps that night?
Okay, so basically, cut a long story short, I work in television. I work for Studio Lambert at the moment because we're all freelance, so we chop and change quite a lot. But someone I work with, she dates the bassist from the Vamps, and she basically was like, we need a runner. Do you want to do it? And I was like, yeah. That's basically how I got there.
So how long have you been working at Studio Lambert, and what is Studio Lambert for those that don't know?
Okay, I've been working at Studio Lambert now for around 7 months. I started in November. And Studio Lambert is an independent television production company. It's mainly factual entertainment based. We do have a drama team, but we're mainly focused on factual entertainment. So Gogglebox is one of our shows, Naked Attraction, Race Across the World, Four in a Bed, those kind of shows.
All the best stuff from Channel 4.
Yeah, pretty much.
And how did you come to work there?
So I actually started my television career pretty early. I was always interested in media at school, so when I went to uni, that's what I focused on. And then when I left uni, I was like, oh God, what do I want to do? Kind of found my way into PR. I was there for a year and a bit, and I was like, no, this is not for me. So I actually left and I didn't work for about 4 months. And then I heard about a Get Started in Media course run by Princess Trust. And I thought off whim I'll just apply for it. Managed to get on it, which happened to be at NBC Universal. It was only a week long. And then after I completed that, the lady that ran it said to me, come to a Get Hired event that we're having. So I went to that, and then I met one of the talent team from Studio Lambert, went for the interview, got it, and here I am today, pretty much.
So you started out with PR, and in doing it you found out it wasn't really your thing.
Yeah, no, so my uni course kind of covered a lot of bases. We had modules in PR, television theory, all that kind of thing. It wasn't just television, you could do film, photography, like I kind of dabbled in a lot of pies, I'd say. But yeah, after I left, it was the first job out of uni I had was in PR. I stayed there for like a year and 2 months, but after a while I was just like, actually this isn't for me. I wanted to be more creative, and I wanted to actually create something instead of just sitting behind a computer. And so
I mean, credit to you, gave it a try, a year and a couple months. You saw it through to see if maybe you might.
I wanted to be completely honest. I wanted to leave after 3 weeks. My mum was like, stay. My mum was like, just stay in a corporate job for like at least a year, so you have it on your CV. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. I did it, and then
so
I was
you gritted your teeth the whole time.
Yeah, the whole time, and then as soon as it got past the year, I was like, okay, no, I'm definitely leaving.
Done my time.
Yeah, so I left, and then I managed through that process to get the job at Lambert, which I love.
Yeah, do you feel it's more satisfying with what it is you want to achieve?
It definitely is. I think in the television industry, like no two days are the same. Like everything changes constantly. So one day, like when was it? Tuesday I come in and they was like, we needed to go to Birmingham to drive. I was like, okay. So I had to go up to Birmingham and back in the same day just to drop something off, you know. It sounds like a lot, but it's fun because you're not just stuck behind a computer, do you know what I mean? So it's really good.
And do you really feel like you're part of what it is that's being created at the end?
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I've managed to work on a few shows. Like I've helped on locations, I've helped on Four in a Bed, and I've helped on Naked Attraction. Because my role is as an office runner is basically it is more admin, but you basically go on runs. So you take hard drives from the productions to post-production companies, like so the edit can be done, all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I can do anything from like the most basic task to like going to Manchester for 2 weeks. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it varies a lot, but it's very interesting.
And what do you have your eye on long term?
Oh, that's hard. Television has always been a love of mine, and if I was to stay in television for the rest of my life, I would be really, really happy. But I've always had a passion for acting and singing. Like I do acting classes every Thursday night. I'm doing one today, and then I do singing lessons every weekend. So even just to do that more, maybe not even professionally, but just to like flex that creative muscle.
Yeah.
Just to actually still keep my brain sane by doing the things I love would be great. So if I do stay in television, I'm happy with that. But if a career did come out of singing and acting, then I'd definitely take that as well.
And if something can merge the two?
Yeah, no, I would be more than happy to. There's always like actors, producers, actors, directors, singers, directors. You know what I mean? Like I like being kept busy, and I don't want to constantly just do one thing, so I like to do other things. I like to keep my mind challenged.
And have you always been based in London while you've been pursuing these things?
Yes, so I was born and raised in like Barking and Dagenham. So I've lived there my whole life, and I've continuously travelled into London. Like I travelled into London for university. The only time I've been away is for work in Manchester or Birmingham, wherever I have to go, but majority I'm based in London.
I too am based in Dagenham, so Dagenham represents.
Yeah, we are very much.
Tyler, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you for not being scared by me on the show.
No, I was actually very flattered, so do not worry.
I look forward to talking to you again. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that chat, Tyler. It was an absolute pleasure to talk with you. And hopefully it won't be the last time we talk. It's really cool to always meet someone else who's from Dagenham. I had a rehearsal earlier this week with a guy named Jack, who is looking to be the bassist in my band. And he's also from Dagenham. But he never said he was from Dagenham. He said he was from Essex. And I tend to say I'm from near Barking. But eventually we kind of went around the houses a bit, but then realised, we live quite close to each other. So, yeah, Dagenham, we're doing bits. We're slowly making ourselves known. It was really cool talking to Tyler. And it's interesting to talk to someone who really comes across as someone who has it together, who knows what they are about and is actively pursuing it on all fronts. Acting classes, singing classes, leaving one profession for another one, and then finding that second one more fulfilling. Someone who seems to really know what they're about and how to go about trying to achieve what they want to achieve. I can safely say that's not my mind space right now. I think whenever, I always say this podcast is a daily podcast, but whenever I miss a day or so, it's because things are very much getting on top of me and I'm trying to catch up. I'm still touching wood that this Monday will be the first rehearsal that I have with all 4 members of my band, but I have not done as much preparation as I would have liked to have done for it, and I'll try to this weekend. But of course this weekend I'll be at the studio all weekend. I have not cut the grass. I've been meaning to cut the grass for about 2 weeks now, 3 weeks now, and every time I come back it's a reminder. Lots of little things. But I'm working on it. And hopefully the more I can get myself back on this podcast each day, the better I can try to course correct my work ethic and get things done. Chief among those tasks is to just wake up on Instagram. I think my last post is from October. And Tyler and I, we talked a bit before the podcast chat, and we talked about how necessary social media is. And it's an area that I've very much been neglecting. So this week hasn't been all doom and gloom and, wow, I haven't been doing what I want to do. There have been some really, really interesting and unexpected turns. There was a really cool recording session that happened with Josh and Mark, who I hope to talk to at some point in this podcast, as well as Alex. I shall explain further when I get the chance to talk to them. I made a new friend named John. I was setting up the open mic on Wednesday in Camden, and I overheard someone talking about a band who had Q Magazine's #2 album of the year last year. So I thought, I wonder who that is. And then they mentioned it was The National, and I was in. We got to talking. They thought at the time that Alligator was the first National album, and I was all too happy to inform them that no, they actually had a whole bunch of albums before then. They said their favourite song was Blood Buzz Ohio, so of course once I set up my sound system for the open mic, that was the first song I played. And now we're kind of keeping in touch via email. It's just really cool to meet someone via shared interest in music. I don't know how often that happens these days. I think a lot of our chance encounters are very deliberate. You meet someone online, you already know a little bit about each other, and then you meet in person. It's rarely just two strangers who meet. In fact, that's a nice ribbon to tie this episode with. The newest friend I made on Wednesday, and Tyler, hopefully another new friend that I made last week. So, thanks again, Tyler. Thank you all for listening. Hopefully I'll be back tomorrow with someone who I met through the open mics, which has become... Oh, I didn't even mention all the good things that have happened this week. So, Lou played another show just around the corner from my open mic last night at Clutch Chicken, and then after he played that show he came down to my open mic at the Nelsons, and that was really fun. And then I got to show him the basement at the Nelsons. That was really cool as well. Yeah, this week has been a bit of a blur, in a good way, but in a way that I need to get better holding the reins on so I can make the most out of it. Okay, I'm dangerously close to rambling now, so I'll say thank you for listening. Thank you again to Tyler. I will hopefully see you all on the next episode. Otherwise, take care.